I'm a 28-year-old man working as a medical device engineer for a prominent healthcare company, and I never imagined I'd find myself in this situation. For some background, I've been spearheading a revolutionary project to develop a cutting-edge cardiac monitoring system that's changing how we track heart conditions in real time. This technology could save countless lives by identifying heart irregularities hours before a critical event. Our work has been featured in top medical journals, and we recently won a prestigious Industry Innovation Award. Professionally, I'm thriving. But my family life is a stark contrast, and that difference has never been clearer than now, as I face a pivotal choice about my relationships with my family. I'm the middle child in a family with 3 siblings. My older brother, Ethan, 32, is a heart surgeon at a renowned hospital and the golden child. My younger sister, Lily, 16, is the family's darling, always showered with attention. Their birthdays are always grand affairs. For Ethan's last birthday, our parents rented out an upscale restaurant, invited over 100 people, and went all out. For Lily's 16th, they hired a live band and transformed our backyard into a festival. They spent weeks planning every detail, from custom decorations to professional photographers. Growing up, my achievements were always overshadowed by my siblings. I remember my 8th birthday, sitting at the dinner table while my family discussed Ethan's soccer match as if it were just another day. 2 weeks earlier, they'd thrown him a massive superhero-themed party with a magician, costumes, and elaborate favors. The whole neighborhood attended, and my parents glowed with pride over their perfect firstborn. When I mustered the courage to ask if they'd forgotten my birthday, my mom barely glanced up from her phone and said, "Oh sweetie, we've been swamped with Ethan's games and Lily's recitals. We'll make it up next year." She went back to showing everyone photos from Ethan's party. They never made it up to me. Not that year or any other. This pattern continued throughout my childhood. At 13, during a family dinner, a waitress asked about upcoming birthdays. My mom laughed and said, "Just his, but we're not doing anything big. He's not one for fuss." Everyone chuckled like it was a harmless joke, but the humiliation still stings when I think about it. The following year, they threw Lily a half-birthday party because she was upset her actual birthday fell during summer break. The favoritism wasn't just about birthdays. Every request I made was met with excuses, while my siblings got whatever they wanted. When I was 10, Ethan begged for the latest gaming console, and our parents drove 3 hours to buy it, saying, "Nothing's too much for our future surgeon." Months later, I asked for a science kit for a school project. My mom brushed it off, saying, "That's too costly right now." The next week, they bought Lily a new phone just because she mentioned wanting one. My accomplishments were always an afterthought. I graduated high school as valedictorian and got into a top engineering school. Most parents would be ecstatic, right?
Mine bare l'hai noticed.
My dad mumbled, "That's nice," while scrolling on his phone. My mom's only comment was, "Well, engineering was your fallback since you didn't aim for med school like Ethan." When Ethan got into med school that same month, they threw a party that rivaled a wedding, complete with caterers, live music, and decorations proclaiming, "Future Dr. Ethan." When Lily graduated high school with average grades, they hired a photographer, made a tribute video, and bought her a new car. My college graduation gift? A gift card to an electronics store. Now let's talk about my current career success, not to boast, but to highlight the contrast in how my family views achievements. For 2 years, I've led a team of 15 engineers developing a revolutionary heart monitor. This isn't just another device. It uses advanced AI to detect cardiac issues up to 24 hours before a major event, giving doctors critical time to act. Our project has been published in 3 major journals, and we just won the Healthcare Innovation Award, a top honor in our field. The irony? This device could help patients like those Ethan treats, but he's never shown interest in my work. At the award ceremony, my team's families celebrated with champagne and proud photos. My parents? They didn't even RSVP. During our last family video call, I tried sharing news about the award. My mom cut me off to ask Ethan about his latest surgeries. They spent 20 minutes gushing over Lily's social media posts from a recent beach trip. My achievement went unacknowledged. When I tried again, my dad said, "That's nice, son," before pivoting to Ethan's upcoming promotion. I've tried addressing this pattern over the years, but it's always met with dismissal or gaslighting. "You're too sensitive," my mom would say, rolling her eyes. "We treat all our kids the same," my dad would mutter, avoiding eye contact. Ethan would smirk and say, "Maybe if you did something truly significant," while Lily would call me a drama queen. Despite their neglect, I've built a fulfilling life. I have a great career, loyal friends, and an incredible girlfriend, Rachel, 27, who's been my rock. She's seen how my family's treatment affects me, even when I try to hide it. Last month, at a dinner with her family, her mom made a bigger deal about my birthday than my own family ever has. She baked my favorite cake, remembering a casual conversation from months earlier, and gave me a thoughtful work-related gift. It was touching but also a painful reminder of what I've missed. That's what led to my current decision. My birthday is in 3 weeks, and instead of bracing for another letdown, I'm taking control. I've booked a luxury cruise for a grand celebration, not just any cruise, but a premium suite package on a top-tier cruise line, complete with exclusive dining, spa treatments, and private excursions. I'm inviting our extended family, uncles, aunts, cousins, and my close friends, about 50 people who've shown genuine interest in my life. The catch? I'm deliberately excluding my immediate family. The invitations are out, and I've planned something special for the main celebration dinner, a slideshow. Not just any slideshow, I've compiled photos and memories of all the birthdays they ignored, achievements they overlooked, and moments they made me feel invisible, paired with images of how they celebrated Ethan and Lily for similar occasions. Is it petty? Perhaps. But it feels essential. I've also prepared a presentation about our medical device project, not to show off, but to showcase what I've achieved while my family was fixated on Ethan's career. The device is now in clinical trials, with early data suggesting it could reduce cardiac mortality by up to 30%. Word of the cruise spread through the family, and reactions have been mixed. My Aunt Clara, who's always been observant of family dynamics, RSVP'd yes and called to say she's proud of me for standing up for myself. Several cousins have also expressed support, saying they've noticed the unfair treatment but didn't know how to address it. Not everyone agrees, though. Some relatives call me childish and immature. My mom's been flooding my phone with voicemails, alternating between guilt trips, "How could you do this to your mother after all we've sacrificed?" and threats, "You'll regret this behavior." My dad sent a passive-aggressive text about how I'm tearing the family apart. Ethan called me immature and told me to accept that some people achieve more. Lily posted a vague, hostile social media rant about selfish siblings and attention-seeking behavior. But my friends and Rachel are fully behind me. My college best friend, who's seen my family dynamics for years, said something that stuck: "Sometimes it takes a bold move to break toxic cycles. You've tried talking to them quietly for years. Maybe now they'll listen." Rachel has been incredible, helping plan every detail of the cruise, from menus to decor. She's reminded me this isn't about revenge but about refusing to be the overlooked child anymore. Her support has shown me what a healthy family dynamic looks like. The cruise is booked, guests are confirmed, and there's no turning back. Most invitees have RSVP'd yes, excited for both the event and what it represents. Some relatives are torn, wanting to support me but worried about conflict with my parents. Still, most are attending. I created a special social media hashtag for the event and started posting teasers. My mom, despite being blocked, saw them through a fake account and called my aunt in tears, claiming I'm publicly shaming the family. The irony of her caring about family shame, after years of ignoring me, isn't lost on anyone. I know this might seem extreme to some. Maybe it is. But after 28 years of being an afterthought, of watching my siblings celebrated while I'm dismissed, of having my accomplishments ignored and my feelings invalidated, it feels necessary. This isn't just a birthday party, it's about reclaiming my story and telling my family I'm done being the invisible middle child.
The cruise side in 3 weeks.
Part of me is thrilled to finally celebrate myself, but part of me worries about the fallout. Some friends. I should have cut contact quietly instead of making a statement, but I felt this was needed, not just for me, but for any overlooked middle child.
Am I going too far?
Should I have handled this more subtly? The cruise is paid for, and most guests are confirmed, but I'm still wondering if I'm burning bridges I might later want to. Update 1. It's been 2 weeks since the cruise, and things have escalated beyond my wildest expectations. The cruise itself was incredible. Nearly all 45 RSVP'd guests showed up, including most of my extended family and close friends. I presented my slideshow at the first night's welcome dinner in the ship's upscale restaurant. The room went quiet as the images appeared. Empty seats at my childhood birthday dinners contrasted with Ethan's lavish celebrations, my ignored achievements next to Lily's celebrated milestones. My Aunt Diane broke down in tears halfway through, saying she hadn't realized the extent of the disparity. Several relatives admitted they'd noticed the unequal treatment but hadn't grasped its full scope until seeing it laid out chronologically. The presentation about my medical device project got a huge response. My Uncle Thomas, who works in hospital management, approached me about implementing our system at his facility. It's strange how my accomplishments suddenly seem noteworthy when others validate them. But things got intense on day 2. My mom managed to board the cruise at our first port, claiming she was a surprise guest. Security let her through because she showed photos proving she was my mother. She stormed into our lunch gathering, tears streaming, accusing me of turning the family against her. "After everything we've done for you," she shouted in front of everyone.
You ungrateful child.
Rachel tried to intervene, but my mom turned on her, claiming she was turning me against my family. The real shock came when my usually reserved Aunt Ellen stood up and confronted her. "Margaret, we've all seen you favor Ethan N." That night, Ethan and Lily launched a social media campaign, posting old family photos with captions about ungrateful siblings and attention-seeking behavior. It backfired, though, as people commented about how I'd been treated differently for years. The cruise continued for 3 more days, and without my immediate family, I felt what true family support is like. My cousins shared their own stories of favoritism. Uncle David, who I thought was distant, admitted he'd followed my career through industry news and was genuinely proud. Back home, I had over 30 missed calls from my parents and a long email from my dad. For the first time, he acknowledged the favoritism but made it worse. We focused on Ethan because he followed the family medical path and on Lily because she needed extra support. "You were always so capable, we thought you didn't need us." The fallout continued. Yesterday, my mom showed up at my workplace, causing a scene in the lobby, telling security I was breaking her heart and ruining our family. My coworkers saw it all, and my boss later checked on me, sharing his own story of breaking free from toxic family dynamics and offering full support. Rachel's family has been amazing, inviting me for dinner and treating me like one of their own. Her dad even said he wished he'd confronted his own family's favoritism when he was younger. My younger cousins have reached out, saying my stand inspired them to address their own family issues. My cousin Sarah used our story in her psychology class presentation on family dynamics. Moving forward, I'm sticking to my boundaries. I'm not fully cutting contact, but I'm done being the overlooked child. I've blocked my siblings on social media and set email filters for my parents. My new rule: I'll only engage with family who respect me and acknowledge their past behavior. Rachel and I are considering moving in together, possibly to a city where her company has an office. The distance might help everyone reflect. The cruise may have seemed extreme, but it exposed issues that had festered for years. Sometimes, it takes a big moment to break old patterns. My next update will likely come after my parents' next anniversary party, which I've decided not to attend. Change is tough but necessary. Update 2. It's been 6 months since my last update, and things have gotten much worse. The big news? Rachel and I are engaged. What should have been a joyful milestone has turned into another family fiasco. After the cruise, I kept contact with my immediate family minimal, focusing on my life with Rachel. The proposal happened during a weekend trip to present our medical device at a healthcare conference. She's been my anchor through all this family chaos. But things turned ugly during our venue tour last weekend. We were visiting our third potential wedding location, a beautiful historic estate with a garden ceremony space. Halfway through, I heard my mom's voice echoing down the hall. They'd somehow learned our tour schedule. Later, I found out my cousin Emma accidentally mentioned it in a family group chat. My parents showed up with Ethan and Lily, like some sort of ambush squad. My mom immediately started pitching her vision for the wedding to the venue coordinator, completely ignoring Rachel and me. When I firmly told them they weren't invited and needed to leave, my mom broke down in tears in front of the staff and other touring couples. What happened next was surreal. Ethan, the responsible older brother, tried pulling me aside for a family talk. When I refused, he said, "This is what happens when you let the middle child make big decisions." Lily was filming it all, likely for a dramatic social media post. The venue coordinator, to her credit, recognized the situation and had security escort them out, but not before my mom shouted that she'd never forgive this betrayal and that I was breaking my dad's heart again. They didn't just stumble upon us, they'd planned it. They brought printed childhood photos of happy family moments to show the venue staff and even carried my mom's old wedding album, talking about family traditions we had to include. After they left, we learned they'd visited our other 2 potential venues earlier that week, telling staff they were the primary decision-makers and even trying to place deposits to lock in dates. Rachel was understandably shaken. Her family was horrified when they heard. Her dad, usually calm, called my dad to say their behavior was unacceptable, sparking more drama with my dad accusing Rachel's family of stealing his son. We've since overhauled our wedding plans. We're no longer using any of the original venues and are now looking at locations out of state. We've hired a wedding planner who specializes in complex family situations, and she's implementing tight security and guest screening. The silver lining? Our relationship is stronger than ever. Rachel and I are more certain than ever that we're making the right choice to start our life together away from toxic family dynamics. My workplace has also stepped up. My boss, recalling the office incident, approved extra security measures at work and even offered his vacation home for a private wedding if we want. The hard part isn't the drama itself, it's realizing that my wedding, a major life milestone, is becoming another battleground for family conflict. But this time, I'm standing firm. Rachel and I deserve our day, our way. We're moving forward with stricter security and a highly selective guest list. Our wedding will be a celebration of love, not a stage for family drama. Update 3. It's been 3 months since my last update, and I want to share what happened at our wedding. This will be my final update, as I've made a firm decision about my family relationships. The wedding day started beautifully. We found a gorgeous private estate 3 states away, hired security, and enforced strict guest screening. Rachel looked stunning, and our closest friends and select family were there to celebrate. The morning went smoothly, and Rachel's family made everyone feel included and cherished. Despite our precautions, my mom managed to get in just as the officiant began the ceremony. The doors burst open, and she charged down the aisle, my dad trailing behind reluctantly. What followed was bizarre. Instead of a simple objection, my mom launched into a tirade about my ingratitude, passing out family photos to shocked guests as some sort of strange wedding favor. Then she turned to Rachel and said, "Good luck with him. He's been resentful his whole life." But this time, I didn't let it ruin our day. I stepped forward and said calmly, "This isn't about you. It never was. This is about your inability to love your children equally. Today is about my future with Rachel." Security moved to escort them out, but my mom kept going, airing private family matters to embarrass me. That's when Rachel's dad stepped in, standing between us with quiet strength. "You've made your point," he said.
Now leave my children alone.
That word, children, hit hard. In that moment, I realized I'd found the family I'd always wanted, one that truly valued me. After they were escorted out, something unexpected happened. Several guests, including distant cousins who'd seen my family's behavior over the years, spoke up about what they'd witnessed. My cousin's wife, a family therapist, quietly noted that my mom's actions showed classic signs of narcissistic family dynamics. We went ahead with the ceremony, which was perfect. Rachel's brother gave a moving speech at the reception.